Today we're going to look at the CRM module inside of Odoo. This is where you will log your opportunities, create opportunities. We're just going to give an overview of the application. So right here is the CRM interface. You'll see when you come in here, you'll start with My Pipeline. That is a filter that is on by default. If you turn that filter off, then you'll see there's everybody's opportunities that are in here. If you turn the filter back on, you'll see that those opportunities are cleared. So something to be very aware of in Odoo is filtering is a very important function to understand, because by default, Odoo will show you everything, and filtering is where you can really drill down to see only the things that you want, and we'll cover more of filtering a little bit later. Right here, we have our various stages. So we have new, we have qualified, proposition, and one. Let's say that we wanted to add an additional stage where we want to add the stage of proposal. Then if you have administrator access to configure CRM, you can add this stage, and then we can say we want this proposal stage right here, and we want to change this proposition stage. And so now you'll see that we have settings. Is this a one stage? Do we want to have it folded? Who's the sales team? Are there any requirements? We can dive into this a little bit later, but maybe there's only a select sales team that you want to have access to the stage. Then you could put the sales team in here if you've configured them. And then if there's any requirements that you have to have, you can notate those here to say, hey, in order to have a opportunity move to this stage, this is the criteria that needs to be met. So we'll go ahead and save this. And let's say that we want to add another stage, and we want to call this stage hold. So we'll add it, and then we'll move it over here. And then let's say that we don't necessarily want the hold stage obviously to be shown all the time. We can fold that. And if we want to unfold it, you can click there, and it will reveal itself again. So this is the staging process of how your deals are going to move through CRM. So you can have a significant number of stages if you want to, or you can have as little as you want to. But what Odoo is then going to do is it is going to use AI, and as you feed the CRM more and more information, Odoo will start calculating what your probability rate is of closing a deal based on the stage that it's in and based on how much information you've given it. So if we look right here, you'll see in your CRM menu, we have My Pipeline, My Activities, My Quotations, teams, and customers. This is how you can navigate through the various areas of CRM. You have your leads, which right now there's no leads in here. You have reporting, which will show you reporting on the various activities that are going on. And then obviously configuration. This is where you set up the various sales teams, activity types, and the settings within CRM, which I'm not going to go over in this video. But there's plenty of documentation on that, and there's some additional Odoo slide material that can give you some insight into that. But for this video, we're going to focus on actually using CRM, which is the most important piece. So let's say that we want to start a new deal. So there's a couple ways you can do that. The first way you can do it is come up here and click New. And you're going to notice it's going to put it in the New category. Now, if I didn't want to do that, right, if I wanted to start it at the proposal stage, I could just come over here and click this right here. Because let's say that I've talked to somebody at a trade show or some sort of encounter. We talked about a deal. We talked about what they need. And so now I've already kind of qualified them. I know who they are. I'm going to put them in the proposal stage because right now I'm going to immediately send them a quote for material. You can start it here. So you don't have to always start your deals as new. You can pretty much start them at any stage you want. But for now, we're going to go ahead and start it new. You can either click this or click here. And we're going to bring up a customer. And you'll notice that it names the opportunity Chris Norris's opportunity. This contact is already in there inside your Odoo database. But let's say that they don't exist, okay? Let's say that it's Johnny Test is who we're talking to. Well, immediately now I have the option to create a contact within CRM. I don't have to go into the contact module and create that contact. I can create that contact right within CRM because Odoo is very efficient. It's a shared database. It is constantly linking all of these modules together. So just because you're in CRM doesn't mean you have to go into contacts, create the contact, and come back into CRM. You can create that right here in CRM. And then I have the option to either create Johnny Test or create and edit. So if I hit create and edit, it's going to actually take me into the contact where I can now fill additional information out. You'll notice he's an individual. I can put his street address in here. So we'll just say it's 123 Main Street. It's in Dallas, Texas, 75053. That's the United States. And then who's the salesperson? This would be assigned to you because you're creating the contact. You can also change the salesperson, but obviously you're going to want to assign it to yourself. Do they have a job position? Yes, they're the owner of their business. What is their phone number? So we can just say it's 817-555-5555. Do they have a mobile? As a matter of fact, they do. 214-999-9999. And then their email is jtest@jtest.com. Now, the reason why it's important to populate this is because Odoo calculates the probability of deals being closed based on the information you give it. The more information you have, such as their phone number and email address, the higher the probability rate is that you're going to close, because Odoo is saying, well, they probably have talked to this individual, they've gathered the contact information, so it looks like a pretty good opportunity. And then right here, you'll notice tags. You can tag what type of customer this is. So maybe they're a hardwood, and maybe they're a remodeler, and maybe they are or actually, let's do this. Let's say they're a custom builder. So now you can be able to sort contacts based on the tag type. And this is really more for internal reference to kind of help you identify the type of customers you have. You can clearly identify customers based on their sales data. But if you know for a fact, hey, this is a hardwood guy, he's a custom builder, he also does remodeling, you might want to put these tags in here because later on down the line, when you're looking for opportunities for certain products that you want to share with some of your customers, it's really easy to sort them by tag, and you can get some messaging out to them. So we're going to go ahead and save and close. And now this contact is configured, they're set up, we've got the information populated in here. And now this opportunity name, what is it? Well, maybe it's and you know that there's a few things that you're going to be populating in here, but we'll say it's a custom built house in Prosper. So it's the project for your contact. And it's always good to give unique names to some of these opportunities just so that you can filter and sort them quickly and kind of understand what it is that is going into this potential opportunity. And then expected revenue. Expected revenue is pretty important because this is what's going to show you in your pipeline how much money you have in each stage as far as potential revenue. So we'll say for this one, it's a $12,000 job. Okay, so now we have added this opportunity. You can see that it's opened up another one. If I need to add another opportunity in here, I don't. We'll click off. And now we have the custom built house in Prosper for Johnny Test. It's a $12,000 opportunity. And you'll see right here in this stage, it's got $12,000 in revenue. Right here, you'll see that there's a few things that we can click on. This right here is your priority. If you want to start ranking your opportunities by priority, you can go medium, high, or very high. Right here is an activity button. So if you need to schedule an activity related to this record in CRM, this is where you would do that. So let's say that I need to schedule an activity, and it's going to bring up the activity type. And so what is the activity? Well, it's either an email, a call, a meeting, a to-do, a reminder, upload a document, get approval on something. We're going to say on this one, it's an email. And I need to send an email to Johnny Test, and it's going to be for his custom house Prosper follow-up. Maybe I talked to him. He said, yeah, I want to give you all the details about the project. I need to get back to my office. Shoot me an email tomorrow, and yeah, I'll follow up with you and get you what you need. So as a busy salesperson, this clearly is not the only opportunity that you have or the only activity that you need to do. So it's always good to set reminders or follow-up activities so that you can accomplish these tasks and they don't kind of slip off your desk or your mind, and you don't have sticky notes everywhere trying to remind you to do things, or a notepad where you're rummaging through it trying to figure out what page your to-dos are on. So I'm going to schedule this email, and we're going to schedule it for the 13th because I'm a hardworking sales guy and I work Saturdays. And we're going to assign it to myself. Now, I could assign it to other people, but at this point in time, I'm only going to assign it to myself. And in the section right here, I can put some notes regarding what I want to do. So one of the cool things about Odoo is you can format your notes. So if I hit this / key, you'll notice I have a lot of options right here, right? I have a bulleted list. I can create a checklist. I can do formatting. I can create headings. I can insert media like an image. So familiarize yourself with this because it's a nice little shortcut to do formatting. I want to do a bulleted list, and I need material list. I need due date. I need delivery date. And I need any special order items, right? So I need to make sure that when I email him, I ask for, hey, what are the materials you need? When do you need it by? Kind of when do you want it delivered to the site? And is there any special order items that I'm going to need to order? So maybe he's ordering this type of material, but there's other material that I don't stock. But I want to make sure that I get that ordered and in his quote with plenty of lead time. So just a way to make sure that when you are doing this activity, you get everything crossed off. So right here we have schedule, mark is done and schedule next, or discard. Well, schedule means I'm going to schedule the activity. Mark is done means I want to log this as an activity that I've already done, but I want to keep track of what I've been doing. Done and schedule next means I've already done it, and I want to schedule another activity. And discard means I don't want to do this at all. Let's just exit out of here. We're going to go ahead and schedule this. And now you'll notice that stopwatch icon turned into a mail icon. So this tells me that I have an activity in here and that I need to email somebody. This right here is your call queue. Not something we're going to talk about right now. That's with the VoIP integration. And then obviously this is the salesperson as to who it is. So if you click on this, you can actually message them. So if it was somebody else that maybe you were helping a deal with another one of your colleagues and you schedule an activity or you log something, you could IM them just to let them know, hey, this is what I did. There's also a audit record inside of the activity itself, or I'm sorry, the record itself. And so let's dive into the record. So here's what a CRM record looks like inside of Odoo. If you'll notice, we have the name of the record, what the expected revenue is. Now we have probability. So this is the probability of me closing this deal. As I said earlier, as the deals move through the various stages, the probability will start to change. The more information you feed CRM, the more accurate the probability will be. We have their information right here, who the salesperson is, and then the expected closing. And the expected closing is kind of important because now it's going to start to tell you what deals you need to be working, what's upcoming. So we're going to say that I think I'm going to be able to close this deal by next week. So we'll put the 19th. And then right here, I can put my priority. Well, we're going to say it's pretty high because there is some urgency with this specific opportunity. He does want to move forward pretty quickly based on the conversation we had. And then this right here is a tag with the opportunity. So you notice that we tagged the contact, right, with the type of contact he is. Now we want to tag the opportunity, and we're going to say that this is a unfinished hardwood opportunity. So now I can sort my deals based on various criteria. Right here, I can make some notes, internal notes on the deal. And then obviously there's some extra information right here. if this lead were to come in through the web in a specific marketing campaign, I could see what campaign it was, what the medium was, and what the source was. And then we have some tracking information over here. Not something that we're going to really worry about right now. But if we go to internal notes, this is where you can really log the initial discussion that you had regarding this opportunity. Now, this is not internal notes regarding the contact, but specifically to the opportunity. So we could say things like, spoke to him about a custom house he's building in Prosper, and start listing out all of the items and things that we discussed. So we could put, test information, and then we can do some formatting, do a checklist, and we can start marking down things that we want to maybe get done before we do more stuff. You can come back over here, do a bulleted list, and put more information in here. So again, just a way to do some formatting, and then you can come back at any given time. You can check things off the list. But this is where you really want to put details about the deal that you're working on would go here. Down here, you have your chatter. This is your audit trail inside of Odoo, specifically with CRM records. So right here, we have the lead was created 8 minutes ago. And you notice we have an activity, which is the custom house Prosper follow-up. And this is something that I need to be doing because I assigned it myself. Right here, we have send message, log note, and activities. Send message is now you are emailing the client. Very important that you understand send message is you are talking to the client. So anything I put in here, it's going to go to followers of this record. And right now we have Johnny Test. If I uncheck that, and there were additional followers, then I could check those followers and send a message to them. If Johnny Test is checked, now I'm going to be emailing the client. So any emails back and forth with the client, follow-ups, this is where you would put that. This is replacing your email so that you want all the information inside of this record. So send message is essentially email client. Log note, this is internal. So if I need to log a note about this, and let's say that I need to ask someone, do we have this specific material for order and how long? And what this is going to do is it is going to log this note, and now this individual is going to get a notification saying, hey, do we have the specific material for order and how long to get it? So now they're going to get a notification in their Odoo, and they can respond back into this record, or you could IM them as well. If you need to add them as a follower to this, because now maybe they're going to be doing some ordering, you can come over here. You see that we have one follower. If we click add followers, I can type their name, and now they are going to be a follower of this record. And when I do that, you'll see that we now have 2 followers. We can add attachments to this, and we can also search our knowledge base for any articles associated with maybe products that we're supplying or offering. Knowledge is a different module inside of Odoo, and that will be a training for a different day. But if there is a knowledge article that you wanted to link to this contact, you certainly could. And then lastly, we have activities. And this is just like what we did in the previous version where we schedule an activity. It's a to-do, an email, whatever it is, and we kind of follow this process again. So if there's additional activities that we need to schedule, let's say that we have a meeting on this, you could schedule it. Or let's say that we have a call with the client, but you want to have somebody else take that call. Then you can assign that activity to that individual. And what that's going to do is give them an activity to complete, and now they're going to have it to do. We're not going to schedule one right now, but where that would show up would be over here. So these are your activities, and this shows you what activities you have scheduled and with what module or Odoo application it's associated with. So this is where your activities will show up, and then you can click into these, and it will show you what those activities are. If you have any outstanding notifications, you'll see them right here. So for now, we're going to go ahead and say that we have the information that we need. We logged a note, we scheduled an activity. So how do we do a quote? How do we send them information? regarding this deal? Well, you'll notice up here you have your smart buttons, meetings, quotations, if there's any rentals associated with this record, and then if we have any similar leads. And similar leads are, hey, we noticed that there's a client already in here or a product that's similar. Do you want to merge these leads into one? You can do that, or you can keep them separate. So if we click on this, it's going to show me that we have this right here that's also one, and it's potentially similar. At this point in time, we don't want to merge these, so we're going to ignore that. But if we wanted to schedule a meeting from here, we could. But let's go ahead and build a quote. So if I click on my quotations button, my quotation smart button, I come in here and now I can start to build a quote if I want, or see the quotes that are associated with this record. And this is a really nice tool of Odoo because you can see we have our pipeline. Here's the client, the opportunity, custom build house, and then what are the quotations we have associated with this record. If I click back, I can come back here, and now I can see that I don't have any quotations yet. So let's go ahead and build one. And now I'm in the quotations section, and now I'm in a new quote. So the customer's information is populated. Here's his phone number. Let's say that I want this quote. I want to build a little sense of urgency here. Like, I don't want him sitting on this thing for a week. So I'm going to tell him, hey, I'm going to shoot you a quote, but it's going to expire on the 17th. That's the longest I can guarantee this pricing for. If there's a terms client, I could set his terms right here. If there's a reference that he's like, hey, shoot me a quote and make sure that you reference this, the Prosper custom built house. So this is a quote for the Prosper custom built house. This is his reference. If there's any delivery notes, I could put them here. Who's the salesperson? And then now we're going to start adding product. And we'll just say that we're going to add some 2.25 select. So the packaging needs to be set at $257, and this is going to give me my quantity. This is how much it's going to cost. And right now, this is just a draft. So I want to say, is there anything else I need to add to this quote? If I need to add accessories, other materials, it's just like building a sale order. This looks good for now, so we're going to go ahead and confirm this. And now we have a sale order. Because he said that he wanted to buy it. Now, let's say that he didn't actually want to buy it. We'd go ahead and cancel that. And we'll go ahead and hit cancel. And we're going to reset it to quotation. So now we are back to quotation. You can see the stage up here. If I wanted to email this to him, I would just click send by email. And what it's going to do is it's going to pull up this window right here. And this is essentially an email. So I can type whatever I want in here, right? It doesn't have to be this. This is a good guide. Your signature for Odoo will be configured, and it will populate here. And then this is the PDF that he's going to get. So you can take a look at that attachment, see what it looks like. At this point in time, I could send this, or I can go ahead and hit cancel. And I can say, well, wait a minute, what's he going to see? Like, if I were to send this out to him, this is what he would see. Johnny Test, here's your pricing on this, terms and conditions. And then he can accept and sign, or he can write some notes on it, reject it. But this will be his preview. If he were to go into his portal, right, into his customer portal, log into Odoo, and take a look at his quote. Customer portal is a different training video, but it's a very powerful tool to where your customers can see all their sales orders, their quotes, any projects associated with their customer record. Let's go back into the edit mode. And if we go back into the edit mode, we're taken back into the record where we can see here we are right here. So we have this quotation, we emailed it to the customer, and so now we're going to go ahead and finish out sort of what we've done for now. So if we go back into our CRM, then what we're able to see is this right here. Open it up, and now you see we have a quotation associated with it. Let's say that he messages us, texts us, accepts it, whatever. and tells us that he either wants to put it on hold or he wants to move forward. Either way, we can then change the stage that this quotation or this deal is at. So right now, we're going to move this to the proposal stage because we sent him a proposal. If we go back into our pipeline, now you'll see that we're out of new and we're in the proposal. If we click on the record again, and he comes back and says, hey, that looks great, let's do it. We can go into the quotation, we can confirm it, and now we have a sale order. We can go back in here and notice now we no longer have a quotation, it's now an order, it's a deal. And then we can come over here and say, hey, it's won. He paid us the money. And so now if we come back into our pipeline, you'll see that this is now in the won stage. So we have now taken a deal from creation all the way to creating a quote, creating a sale order. It's won. We've moved it into the won stage, and that completes the process of how you move a contact from creation all the way through the various stages in Odoo to now won. And so you would do this with all of your other deals. So that's the overview of CRM and deals. The last thing I want to talk about briefly is filtering. As you get more and more items in here, you're going to want to start filtering. And filtering is very powerful. You'll notice that the default right now is my pipeline. You have filters right here that you can use. You have group by that you can use and favorites. I would encourage you to get to know filtering, use it. It's a very powerful tool. Play around with it because it's going to be something that you're going to be using constantly inside of Odoo. So that will cover the CRM training for today. Good luck and happy selling.